Hi, this is my persuasive presentation for the Communication Audit Report. I did my audit report on a local company called Rastelli Global. They ship food and meat to the military overseas, as well as to other companies such as Darden, because they act as the middlemen that have the ability to ship outside the country. My mock audience will consist of 4 people. The owner, because he has the ultimate say and he's the one that really needs to know what's going on in his business. The 2 people that I interviewed so they can see how I took their responses and applied them to an action. And the IT manager, because he will have to be able to implement my changes. Alright, let's get started. The next steps is taking the audit findings and acting on them. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and as they're telling a story or a thought, they turn their head to the side and then you can no longer hear what they're saying because they are not facing you? You can still hear what I'm saying though because I have a mic on. But this is what it's like to use email in the place of face-to-face communication. Nonverbal cues are lost and understanding is hindered when a message that should be communicated face-to-face is actually communicated through email. Now look ahead. You should require more face-to-face communication within the company and with your customers through meetings and video conferencing. When messages lose their meaning, importance, or cause confusion, relationships can suffer and business opportunities can be lost. In the next couple minutes, I will go over how to avoid this situation, strengthen communication within your company and with customers, and increase business relationships through the use of face-to-face communication. There are so many aspects of communication lost in email when we can't see the recipient's nonverbal cues. Are they on the same page as you as what you're talking about with future business? Are they hesitant? Do they feel comfortable and trust you? Do they understand what is being communicated? Do you understand what is being communicated? How many times have you read a text message from your daughter and thought something completely different than what she was actually talking about? The same concept applies in business. With emails, there are times when email is appropriate and times when email is not. As you know, urgent messages, dialogues, and negative messages are not best suited for emails. Adding face-to-face meetings with your employees and with your customers will reduce the possibility of miscommunication and misunderstanding. You do an excellent job at meeting face-to-face with your customers overseas. You visit them all the time. Your employees don't exactly have that ability, and I'm sure you don't want to pay to send your billing manager over to Afghanistan to talk to your local rep there. The importance of face-to-face is that by being able to see nonverbal cues, you can make adjustments on the spot to how you are approaching the conversation, such as if you see the customer with their arms crossed and they're looking around and maybe not seeing or receiving the message, then you can apply more of an empathetic tone and sympathize with them, try and get on their level. If they're worried about cost or something, you can kind of change your direction and say, well, this is why it would actually be more beneficial to put the money into this than to not, and things of that nature. If they are nodding along with everything you are saying, then you know that there is nothing that you need to change at that exact moment in time and that you should just keep going. So nonverbal cues are very important to understand where you are, where your customer is, and you have that perceived closeness by having face-to-face. And their posture is also important, along with their facial expressions. So what is my solution to having face-to-face meetings with customers without having to send your people overseas? Video teleconferencing. Your people can put the face to the name of who they're dealing with behind the email. While it doesn't completely make up for face-to-face, it's really your best alternative as far as price. Adding a video camera to one of your conference rooms would not be that difficult, and it would be a way to get in touch with your customers in a more close setting. By using video teleconferencing, you can somewhat see the nonverbal cues such as posture or facial expressions or hand gestures if they're moving their hands all over the place. You can also hear in their tone of voice if they're understanding the message or if they're not, if they're confused or whatnot. There are so many times when email is sent and people are confused, but they might be afraid to ask the question because they might feel like dumb or something. Additionally, when things do get confusing in an email, you can easily just explain it over the phone through the video conferencing right then and there for the other party, whether it's you that's confused or the customer. And it's a great tool to keep you guys connected and sharing information. Alright, let's wrap up. Email is not always the best. Face-to-face communication is key, and video conferencing is the next best solution to face-to-face when face-to-face is not a viable option. There is a time and place when email is necessary. However, it should not be in the place of face-to-face communication. Critical nonverbal cues are lost, relationships suffer. By increasing face-to-face meetings within your company and with your customers, that is a crucial way to keep your internal communication at its best, and external communication. Adding video conferencing to your conference rooms will improve communication with customers by reducing the chance of miscommunication and misunderstanding. Your business is growing each and every day, so it's time for your communication channels to grow as well. Are there any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? The question was asked, just because we add video conferencing doesn't mean our customer is going to add it, so how will that add value? And you're right, just because you add it doesn't mean your customer's going to have it, because obviously if you have a camera on one end, you have to have a camera on the other end, otherwise it defeats the purpose. But you have more than one customer, you have tons of customers, and even just half of the customers put it in place, it will improve your communication lines so much better, and then maybe others will follow suit when they see how successful it is for you and your communication with your other customers, because all your customers kind of work together at the end of the day. And so if they see that, hey, this company over here is doing a lot better with their communication, then they will probably add it as well. Thank you for your time today.